fellow traders, 'tis I, TheRumpledOne. Yeah, I know you guys are probably wondering, why am I picking on Sam Seiden so much? I mean, Sam probably doesn't give a rat's you-know-what about what I have to say. But when it comes to trading, there's some things he says that I agree with, but sometimes I just think he's so wrapped up in what he believes, his concepts, that he hasn't taken a step back to see the big picture. His latest article was talking about how to short, a new high. And he talked about how he took this one trade. But there's a couple problems with the article. On one hand, he's showing us a weekly NASDAQ chart. But then, when he's talking about the trade, he goes down to a 5-minute S&P chart. Sam, why not use the S&P chart, the weekly? Is it because it didn't show what you wanted to show? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. And then he talks about, supply and demand levels on the 5-minute chart. Well, if I flip over with the same data to a weekly chart, is there not supply and demand levels? I mean, 5 minutes? Really? That's what I want to base my decision on? He showed a profitable trade, but is it because of his concept, or did he get lucky? I mean, what is it? Because how can you use one chart to determine whether or not you should trade the other chart? He's saying, okay, it's making weekly highs, so the market's probably overheated, so you probably want to short. But then, why not look at the S&P chart? Is it because it wasn't making those weekly highs? I mean, something's just askew there, Sam. Come on. You got some explaining to do. And so you see, people, the data is the data. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to say it, but if you're looking at a 5-minute chart, and then, those 5 minutes, that's 15 minutes worth of data right there. Here's another 15 minutes worth of data. By looking at the 15-minute chart and versus the 5-minute, it's all the same data. I mean, if you're looking at hour chart, there's 1 hour, that's the H4 chart for you Forex traders on MT4. I mean, it's just crazy. If you're looking at a daily chart and a weekly, I mean, you've got what? 5 bars of daily data? Well, that's your week right there. It's all the same data. So once again, don't be fooled by thinking you see something on one time frame, because that's just data compression. That's all it is. I know, am I beating a dead horse? I know you've heard me say this before, but when you get these guys out there, on the online trading academy, and they keep spreading the same myth, I just have to say something about it. And hopefully, people will stop and think and go, wait a minute, hey, maybe that TheRumpledOne guy's not so crazy after all. Maybe he's got something there, because it is the same data. We're just slicing it up differently. It's just like when I posed on there about why are we using these different time frames and looking at these squiggly line indicators. Somebody goes, well, 50 period on one ain't the same. That's my point. And even if you change the numbers, what difference does it make? It's still the same data. That's what I'm trying, one of the points I'm trying to get across. It's the same data. Doesn't matter how you slice it up. So, once again, Sam, I know you're probably not listening, but maybe somebody out there has Sam's ear, could get Sam to answer this question, or questions. Why is it you used the NASDAQ chart but took an S&P trade? And why are you talking about these supply and demand levels on a 5-minute chart? Because if they exist on the 5, why don't they exist on the weekly chart? I mean, either it's supply or it's not. Either it's demand or it's not. And changing the charts don't make it supply or demand. I mean, do you see what I'm talking about? I hope you do. Because no matter what concepts or methods or charts or time periods you use, It's not what you trade, it's how you trade it.